I wonder if this is a good setup for videos. You guys, I never know where to film these, like sit down videos, because there's so many odd places in my house that sometimes make sense and other times don't. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is having an amazing day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope that this video brings a little bit of positivity and if not information, I guess, to your day. I am here to have some wine, to hang out with you guys, to catch up, to answer some of your DMs, essentially live on video, without using your names, of course. And yeah, just to talk about all things like relationships, breakups, anything in that realm of things I want to talk about. In my past couple of videos like this, you guys have seemed to really enjoy them, and a lot of you have messaged me after my original How to Move On From a Breakup video. If you haven't seen that, I'll put it right here and down in the description. I made that video literally because so many people were just asking me, how'd you move on from your breakup? And I just wanted to share. And I've always said that I want to just be like a big sister on YouTube, or something that you need, somebody that you need that makes you feel less alone, or maybe can provide some advice. So I'm hoping to do that today. So I've been crazy busy traveling a bit recently, and I kind of just feel like disconnected. I've put a lot of pressure on myself to like only upload fitness content for a long time now, which is honestly silly and not necessary, because this is the kind of content that I think I enjoy filming the most. I like doing those, but actually like connecting with you guys and talking to you guys is my favorite thing and my favorite kind of video, and the responses that I get from these videos that actually like start real conversations, I really love and enjoy. So I'm pretty much just gonna be going through, I'm gonna run my coffee table because I don't have a coaster. I'm gonna be going through some of your DMs. I also asked you some questions on my Instagram at @FitBrittShaheen. Actually, I didn't ask you questions. I asked you to ask me questions for like advice or something like that. Anything that I can maybe help you with in your life. So I'm going to be sharing some of my life experience to maybe help answer those questions. I guess that's all I can do. I can't say that I'm right. I can't say my answers are perfect. I'm no therapist, but basically I'm just gonna give you the advice that I can based on things that I personally have been through, and maybe it'll be helpful. And I'm gonna crack open a glass of wine while I do it, because I don't know, I just feel like that's what we do here. I feel like, I mean, that's what I do. I don't know if it's what you do. I crack open wine and I enjoy it a lot. So I have this bottle, it's called Oliver Sweet Rosé. I'm on a rosé kick. This is like literally an $8 wine, so don't be impressed. Now I'm gonna show you my fancy bartending skills, how I can open this bottle. I'm gonna pour myself a glass of this, and we're gonna chat it up. Okay, all the time. We're gonna pour a really aggressive, yep, probably, yeah, about to there, into this glass. We're gonna, cheers, by the way, cheers. Let's get into it. I'm scared, okay. I was dating this guy for 7 months, but then I ended things because I thought I saw red flags. Then after, I see that maybe those weren't red flags, and maybe I just have high standards and no one's perfect. I don't know, I just feel like he was better compared to most, and now we don't talk at all, and I feel like I let go of a really good guy. Wow, okay, we're gonna start on this one. First of all, don't beat yourself up for listening to red flags and not accepting less than you deserve. Because clearly in that moment, if something feels like a red flag, if something feels wrong, if it feels off, if you're getting hurt, that is a red flag. And best advice is to address it and maybe give that person a chance to change. Now, hold up for 1 second. There are two categories to this. There is the red flag. Like there's the red flag category for like liars, cheaters, abusers, manipulators. Those guys, when you see that red flag, if they cheat on you one time, like, no bitch, out you go. No. We don't put up with that, you deserve better. Now there's red flags that are things that maybe a guy doesn't know that it's an issue. They may not know that they're doing it wrong. We must remember that men literally mature slower than women. So, possible. It could just be a conversation. It could be something that somebody doesn't know, or they've never been with somebody that isn't okay with that, and you could literally be like, hey, this irritates me, this bothers me, I don't like it, it makes me uncomfortable, I would like you to stop. And you could give that person a chance to make the change. Now, if they don't make the change and they're still doing it and you're still feeling uncomfortable after you've said, hey, this bothers me, I feel uncomfortable, if they tell you they're gonna do something different and then they don't do it, then that's not only is that the red flag number one, but that's the second red flag, that they don't do what they say that they're gonna do. And you can't count on them, and maybe they don't respect you and your feelings. So usually if there's one red flag and you address it and it gets changed, maybe it's not a huge red flag. If you address it and it continues to happen, then that's like several red flags. And I would say take a step back, because honestly, life is too short. There is somebody out there that's for you, that will respect you and will, you know, do the things that you need them to do and make the changes that you need them to make to a degree. Sometimes maybe you're just on completely different pages and you don't agree with those things. Then again, maybe it's just not the person for you. And as far as you saying maybe they weren't red flags, maybe I have high standards, there is nothing wrong with being somebody who has really high standards. I've literally had my father say to me, Brittany, there's not a lot of good men out there. Like, I just don't want you to like lose a good one and essentially end up alone. And he means well, because he's like, there's not a ton of nice guys out there, which I just don't believe. Like, I think that they do exist. I truly believe that they do. And just because someone is like good to you and kind of meets your standards, like, is that the person that you want to like be the father of your kids and the person you want to marry, the person you want to walk down the aisle to? Do you want to walk down the aisle thinking like, it's enough, like he's good enough, but he's not everything you want? Like, I think that's worth holding out for, and it's worth keeping your standards high. You have to think, when I was in that situation, if those red flags gave me enough of a feeling of, okay, this isn't right, then I say, you know, if it was enough for you to walk away then it's enough for you to not go back and to trust your intuition and trust yourself the first time. And this whole, like, it seems like other guys aren't as good thing, it kind of sounds to me like maybe you're a little lonely. Maybe you're regretting it because you're not meeting somebody awesome, but it doesn't mean you won't meet someone awesome, and that person is 100% worth waiting for. My opinion. I'm moving back with parents, with my boyfriend, to save for a house and look for work. Yet, I'm not feeling accomplished since I'm 30, and everybody else seems like they have everything figured out. Man, can I talk about this all day. You guys, I am only 24 years old, and I live in a state where people get married and have babies at like age 22. Like, I swear. I'm pretty sure everyone I went to high school with, including my twin brother, is married. Like, it's just one of those things here. Everyone does these things super early. Now I go to Boston and I meet all kinds of people who are in their mid to late 30s, and they're like, yeah, like, you know, I want to meet someone, I'm in no rush, I want to have kids by the time I'm 40, like, everybody has a super different mindset about this, and I, especially living here, I've had to think so much about that, because there's a lot of pressure that exists when you're surrounded by people who maybe have those things figured out, maybe people who own a house, maybe people who have a husband or kids or any of those things. When you don't, it doesn't mean that you're less than. It doesn't mean that you're not doing the right thing. It means you're on your path and they're on theirs, and you can't compare yours to theirs. For example, I find myself, I'll catch myself, and Tyler, if you're watching this, you're gonna laugh, but I catch myself comparing myself to my twin brother all the time. We're literally twins, like we were in the womb together, and our lives are very different. Obviously, he owns a house, he's married, he's been married for a couple years to my sister-in-law, who I love and adore, but he got married when he was 21, I'm pretty sure, yeah, 21, and I'm 24 now. I got out of a very long relationship, and you know, I'm just dating again, and I don't own my own house yet, and things are very different. Like, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life. Tyler, on the other hand, totally knows. Man, I don't even like know what I'm doing next week yet. So I can't compare myself to him. And when I think about it and I start to do it, I catch myself and I'm like, okay, I can't compare my journey right now and my today right now to what his today is, because think of all the different things that happen leading up to today. And if those paths weren't identical, then you can't expect to have the identical today and the identical outcome right now. So that's kind of what I encourage you to do, is just to think about, my path is different. Whatever I've done in my life has led me to this place, and I'm where I'm supposed to be. And if you don't feel like you're where you're supposed to be, literally all you can do is work hard in whatever it is that you're doing to get to the place that you want to be. Work as hard as you can on you. Be the absolute best version of yourself. That's kind of what I'm trying to focus on now, is just like being the best version of me, and that alone will attract the right things in my life at the right times. And I totally understand that it's probably hard to be in that spot right now and feel like you're behind and moving home, and I totally get that, but you have to think too, what is the long-term goal? Saving right now and being in this maybe uncomfortable position, like this short-term pain must be worth like the way long-term pleasure. Maybe make a vision board, things that you want in the future, and start being on the path to get to those things. Okay, next one. Here we go. She says, I just got out of a super crazy relationship, but now that I'm dating again, sometimes I wonder if my bad relationship wasn't so bad. I know I deserve better, but how do you stay true to yourself when others seem to put up with bad relationships and being single seems to be the worst thing? I hope this makes sense. I totally get this. I totally get this. And you guys, everyone gets to that point after a breakup where they're like, you know, maybe it wasn't so bad. Like maybe it would be better to be with that person and be miserable than to be alone and be miserable and have nothing to do and be crying in my bed. Like I got to that point for sure. Like being with him, maybe that's better. Like maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. And this kind of goes back to the first question, you guys. You have to trust yourself. If you left, it was for a reason. How hard was it for you to leave to begin with? Because I know for me, hurting people and getting hurt, like that's not an easy thing, period. It's not easy for anyone. For anyone to break off a relationship with somebody they care about, that is not easy. So in that moment, it had to be bad enough and you had to say, okay, I'm done with this. I want more for myself. I deserve better. So whether that was a month ago or today, you still deserve all the things that you did then. You deserve the life that you walked away from that relationship for. And my mom always says this to me. She says, I would rather be miserable alone than be miserable with somebody that makes me miserable. And that is so true, you guys. You have to think about that statement. When you were in that relationship, when you left it, A, why did you leave? Literally write down all the reasons that you left and remind yourself why you did it. Usually if you leave like a manipulator or somebody that still really wants you back or still anything, they'll do anything to get you back. And if you keep that string going, then you're never gonna fully move on and you're never gonna become like the whole version of yourself that you wanna be. And I know I deserve more and this person didn't change, or maybe they're not willing to change, or maybe you asked 100 times and they never changed. They're not gonna suddenly change now. And remind yourself like, hey, maybe I'm lonely now and maybe it sucks now, but think back to like the nights that it sucked more and the nights that like you were really sad, because I promise, personally, feeling alone here, alone with my dog, way less bad than the lonely that you feel when you're with somebody that you know you shouldn't be with anymore. That kind of lonely is like empty and painful and sucks. And there's a reason you walk away from it. And when you walk away from it, you need to trust your gut. Absolutely. Now, obviously there's scenarios where like maybe a year goes by and somebody's really willing to change and things are different. But if somebody, you know, did enough to you that if you loved them and you still walked away, then like you need to remember why you walked away. You need to know your worth. You literally said in your message to me, I know I deserve better. So that's how you stay true to yourself. You remind yourself that you deserve better and you remind yourself what you walked away from, period. How do I control myself from stalking my ex on social media? And what kept you from fearing your ex being with another person? So we'll do the first one first. How to control yourself from stalking your ex on social media. I mean, easier said than done. I think everybody knows that. Everyone's like, no, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not going to. And then like all you girls, you've got your fake accounts and you stalk anyway. Everyone stalks their ex for a while, they do. And at some point, I promise, at some point, you'll wake up and you'll be like, you know, I don't think I wanna start my day like this. I don't think I want to have a good day and then have it be ruined by seeing what they're doing. Because honestly, think about it. When you stalk your ex on social media, do you ever see anything that makes your day better? Do you ever see something on their story or on their page and then feel better after? No, you don't. There's no way. Like there's nothing that you're gonna find there that's gonna make you feel better or gonna make you feel good. 9 times out of 10, you are going to see them having a good time, doing really well, which is gonna suck, especially if you're sad. Or you're gonna see them posting sad, sappy stuff, or you're gonna see them with someone else. And none of those things are gonna make you feel good. And I know how the stalking works, and I'm not gonna act like I didn't do it for a minute. Like you wake up and that's the first thing you do. You're like, oh, let me see what they're up to. Because when you share your life with somebody, knowing what they're doing is part of your routine, and it's hard to cut that string. But again, as you go through breakups and you get stronger and you grow as a person, you start to realize that you don't want anything in your life that makes it worse. And one of my girlfriends actually on the phone the other night said to me, does this person complement your life or do they complicate your life? And I think that's interesting. And I always say, like, if somebody isn't an addition to your life, then they don't need to be in your life. They should be only making it better. You should be having a good life on your own, and then somebody, when they come in, they should be making it better, not worse. So think about that in terms of stalking your ex. Is this making your life better? Or is it making it worse? Like when you grow, you're like, hey, I'm not gonna do anything in my life or be around anyone or associate with anything that doesn't make me feel good, then you'll just stop. And honestly, that's kind of the point that I got to. It just became like one day I didn't look, and then one day turned into a few days, and then a few days turned into a few weeks, and then all of a sudden I was like, you know, I'm a lot happier when I don't know what's going on. And I'm at a point now, if it's not making my life better and it's not making me happy, then I don't want any part of it. And you've got to get to that point. You have to protect yourself and say, I'm going to protect my happiness, and I'm going to protect my days and my feelings and how I spend my days. I'm not going to spend my days being sad about what I'm seeing on someone's social media, because think about all the fun things you could be putting on your social media. Think about all like the hot pics you could be taking in the meantime. All those minutes, instead of spending them stalking your ex, go get ready, put on an outfit, go have a photo shoot, and like remind yourself that you're bomb as hell, and post it on Instagram, and then everyone's gonna be like, wow, what a glow up. And that's gonna make you feel way better than looking at your ex's social media. What kept you from fearing your ex being with another person, and did that ever cross your mind? And I actually got another one similar to that says how to deal with seeing an ex in his new girl and not feeling like anxious or distracted. So I think when you end things with somebody, whether you're the one that ends it or not, there's always a fear of seeing them with somebody else. It's hard to see somebody that you shared your life with share it with someone else and do those same things with somebody else. That's difficult. I'm not gonna act like it isn't. Like, it's not a pleasant thing to go through, for sure. But if you're in the case where you ended the relationship, then this goes back to, you know, why did you leave? What was the reason that you ended in the first place? If this is your ex and you broke up with them, you know what this future person has. And is it something that you want? If you walked away from them, do you really want what they have? Like, is it really worth being jealous or sad because, like, you know what they're waking up to and you walked away from that for a reason? Did I say more? I feel like that's pretty simple. Like, if you kind of change your perspective, and so much of like going through a breakup and relationships and all these things are literally about perspective. And I've talked about this before, about looking at a breakup as an opportunity and saying, wow, I have so much time to do all these things now. Wow, I have so much time to like read books or do things that I didn't have time to do before, or learn about myself, or whatever I want. There is an opportunity there. To some degree, when two people end, they make a decision that they're gonna go their separate ways and they're gonna try something new and they're gonna live different lives now. And over time, it's just, you just learn to accept that. And at the same time, it's like, okay, let's say your ex is with somebody new but you're not yet. You are gonna meet somebody new, and like, you're gonna make memories, and you're not the only one that's gonna feel that way. Just because you may be feeling it right now doesn't mean that like he's not gonna eventually feel it. Because both parties in relationships always have that like lingering discomfort about seeing somebody that they spent time with somebody different. I don't know if that ever totally goes away. You can wish somebody the best but still feel kind of weird when you see it, and it can still make you uncomfortable, and that's okay. And eventually you'll kind of just feel like, I know what you have. It's not what I want. I wish you the best. Have fun. There's really no point in dwelling and like letting it eat you alive, because it's your chance now, it's your opportunity now to move on and to focus on you. And the second one was kind of about how do you deal with actually seeing them together and not getting distracted or anxious. And specifically this question says at the gym. And I would just say, A, switch gyms. Immediately, yesterday, 1 month ago, switch gyms. Hurry up and switch gyms. Don't put yourself through that. That's worse than stalking social media. Like, you have to see it in real life. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. That would be the worst. If you're going to school with somebody that you had a breakup with and it's painful, or you're in class together, or you work out at the same place, or maybe you work at the same place, do what you can to distance yourself, because you need to work on you and healing yourself and moving forward. And that's really hard to do when there's a constant reminder of something negative or something painful that you went through. Put distance between the two of you, separate yourself, give yourself space to work on you and to move forward. Okay. All right, so I think I'm gonna do like 2 more and then stop. Otherwise this video is gonna be a million years long, but I promise this won't be the only one. Many more. I will get through this glass of wine as well. Oh wow, advice for a hookup situation that's been going on for 5 years but no relationship. It's complicated. Okay, so obviously I don't know the context, but my first thought is that's not complicated. You know it's not complicated. You wouldn't be asking me the question if it was that complicated. No, honestly, if I've learned anything anything in my time, if a guy really wants to be with you, he will be. If he really wants to be with you, he will make an effort and he will do what he needs to do to not lose you. And I mean like a real effort. And you can't make them make an effort. You can't make someone love you or want you or take you seriously. In your case, it sounds like what likely happened, my guess, and I think this happens to a lot of girls, is they get in a situation and they accept some type of behavior, they accept less than they deserve, or they accept, you know, maybe a friends with benefits, or they accept this we're seeing each other but it's complicated thing. And then over time, people just think, oh, well, it's been working this long, so why should we rock the boat? Or like, it's okay, so let's not change it. Or it's been okay this long, so why make it different now? Like, and the thing is, when something happens that you don't like or there's something that you're not comfortable with, you have to like nip it in the bud right there. Like up front, this is what I want, this is what I need. If you're not willing to offer it to me and you're not willing to provide it, then like I will find it somewhere else. As far as a relationship goes, like there are things that like I want and I demand in a relationship now that, you know, maybe I didn't always, but how it is right now, it's like my standards are different and like what I want is very different, and I refuse to accept anything less. But if you're not demanding the things that you want, you're not going to get what you want. So if you've spent 5 years like, oh, it's fine, it's okay, I'm with him, it is what it is, then like you're teaching him how to treat you. And that is such a real thing. Like if somebody like lies to you once and you're just like, oh, it's fine, it's okay, you're teaching them that it's okay. People have to learn and understand like what is and isn't okay to a degree. Obviously there's right from wrong and everybody knows the difference between that. And I think the older you get, the less you accept, because like we're all old enough to know right from wrong now. We all know the things that we should do and shouldn't do. But further than that, like if there's things that you want, like you want to be in a serious relationship, you have to ask for it. Like it's not just going to happen. He's not just going to one day wake up and say, you know, I think we should be in a relationship. Because if he wanted that, don't you think he would have done it so long ago? You deserve that. Like whoever you are, I know that like you deserve more than just being somebody's hookup for 5 years. No one deserves that. That's crazy. And that's the thing, like you can't give guys the benefits of being in a relationship with you if you're not in a relationship. You can't. Otherwise, they will just treat you as a hookup forever. Because like if you're like, you know, it's okay to like not be together and just to hook up, if that's what you want, that's one thing. But if you're somebody that wants to be in a relationship with somebody, those benefits, like, sorry, but like sleeping with you, having sex with you, staying in your house, you cooking for them, those things, those are relationship things. Those are things that like a wife does. Those are things that a girlfriend does. You do those things with somebody you're in a relationship with. If you are just like hooking up with somebody all the time without requiring like, you know, we're gonna be loyal to each other, or at least like requiring exclusivity, saying like, you know, we're exclusive, it's just us. You're just teaching them that it's okay, that they can have whatever they want from you and they don't really have to do anything to get it. So I would say, you know, if it's now what you want and you've decided like I want to be in a relationship, part of me at this point is like, if he already isn't trying to be in a relationship with you after 5 years, then like you should walk away and find somebody who's more serious about you, because you deserve that. But if that's not something you want to do and you do want to be in a relationship with this person, then like you need to say it. You need to be like, you know, we've done this long enough. I want a relationship. These are the things that I want. We're at that point now. There's no excuse not to be in a relationship. And if he's not willing to do that and be with you, then he's probably not the right person for you. Because if he wanted to that bad, he would. It's honestly amazing when guys meet a girl they're really serious about, how much they change and like how much effort they put in. And you have to think about yourself. Like think of all the things that you've probably done to be good to him. And I've always said like whatever you give to somebody, you deserve that back equally, and if not more. And if you're not getting that effort in return, then go on. Don't waste any more time, not any more time at all on this person. Okay, I'm gonna end it on that one. I promise I will do many more of these videos because this was really fun. I hope this was interesting for you guys. I hope you learned something. I hope I wasn't too preachy. I'm so preachy about like demand what you freaking deserve because you deserve it. Don't waste your time. But everything I'm saying, I promise, I am practicing these things. I've made my mistakes and I still do, don't get me wrong. But like when I say these things, I'm not just like preaching them out of my asshole. I genuinely believe these to my core, and I've seen my life improve, and like the things and the people that I attract now are much different than my past. Don't settle Demand what you deserve. Trust your freaking gut. I mean it. Trust it. If you walked away once, there was a reason. Don't forget why. And if you ever need help or you have questions or anything, shoot me a DM on Instagram at @FitForShaheen always, and I will try to answer. I always try. And if I don't answer like personally, then I'll probably answer it in a video at some point, and never use your name because I promise I won't. So I hope you like this video. I desperately need to go to bed. I hope you had a glass of wine with me. Enjoyed your time here, and yeah, that's it. I hope everybody has an amazing rest of the day. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and you want to see more of them, and click the dang subscribe button, please. I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in